favorite Marvel Comics hero? Mine is Superman. Remember the motto? With great power comes great responsibility.
Hello everyone, John and Carla here. We are the creative team behind the Green Reaper. Hello everybody, welcome to White Cat Comics again, your new favorite YouTube channel. And thank you for following us this Friday night, and to our second Promo-Thon ever. So I'm very excited because we're going to talk about some comics that I personally very passionate about, because I've shared a lot with these guys in the CG Latino scene and stuff. So I know where they're coming from, and I know some of the things that they worked on, and it's just amazing. Some of the things that we're going to see today and that we're going to talk about today got me really excited. So first, I wanted to say hello to the chat. Hello to Blanca, who's always here on time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello to Mogwai, who's going to be dropping links and yeah, basically showcasing this wonderful artist as well. Hello to Mr. Satellite. Carla is here, but she is right now. She will be coming soon. I think she's in the bathroom puking or something. And hello to Michael Beacon, and yeah, hello to everybody. How you guys doing today? How's the panel doing today? How are you tonight, Mogwai?
I'm doing good. A little bit tired, but good. It was a long day at work. Well, a very good day at work, but long. I got to do some really fun stuff, so I'm fine. And now I'm over here doing what I like.
Awesome, man, awesome. And I got some comics to show you today that I know you're gonna love, because well, some of the guys that are already here, but you don't know David yet, and you haven't seen his comic yet, and I promise you're gonna like it when you see it.
Okay.
So I wanted to first welcome, of course, our guests. I wanted to say welcome to I always say cinco seis in Spanish because I got used to it. But to the guys from 656 Comics, how you guys doing today?
Hey, how's it going, John? Hey, John, thank you for having us.
Hey, what up, John?
My pleasure, guys. My pleasure. How's everything at the border?
Yes.
It's hot.
Thank you for the opportunity, and yes, good morning. Good morning, chat.
Hey, David, how's it going?
Fine, thank you. Yeah, you too.
Absolutely.
So you're like 344. What's the name of that game company? 343, but good, or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I was going to introduce you next, David, but you got ahead. That's all right. Yeah, we also have David, who I will be showing his comic as well second. So we're gonna go one by one. Thank you, Mogwai, for dropping the links already to the first one that we're gonna see tonight, On Dead Border, which, by the way, used to have a pretty cool name in Spanish, but Mr. Postman decided to change it for us, didn't he?
That
I don't think he decided. I guess he more likely
suggested
it.
He suggested a very he was very he really wanted that name change, but it was the right call. I mean, I loved it in Spanish. The name of it was Infestation, which sounds cool, but doesn't sound as commercial in English. So what did we change it to?
The problem with, how I see it, the problem with Infestation is there's too many books with that name, and there's even a movie that shares our logo, or the logo similar to ours. So, but we did it first. So, I guess Adam Post suggestion was a good one, and so we decided to change it to Undead Border.
Yeah, and also, John, I think it works well on the crossover, to the English language.
Oh yeah.
So, I would love to have the Infestación on it, because I mean that's the brand, right? But I think we can work on it, and on that border, it sounds sexy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And well, I wanted to talk about something here, because not only did you guys get the endorsement from Adam posting stuff, who is obviously very famous in Comicsgate for his zombie comic. But you also did from George Romero, didn't you?
Yeah, our other writer, Ray Ramos, he went to San Diego Comic Con, I think in '07, and he had a chance to talk to George Romero for a bit, and he pitched him the idea of Infestation, and well, George was pleased because he was glad that the zombie genre was expanding to the border, no?
Absolutely.
And yeah, he gave us his blessing, and well, sadly he passed, and we couldn't get him the book, so maybe we have to contact his, I don't know, his estate, maybe
Yeah.
pitch him a movie idea or something, because
Okay.
we gotta do another of the Dead movie.
Right. So it has been around since 2007.
Yeah, Infestation was came out during the same time as Walking Dead, so
Oh,
and it was the first Latino Mexican zombie comic of its time.
wonderful.
So yeah.
So you guys made history, but you're trying to make history again, right?
Yes, of course.
Translated it into English.
Yeah. John, I tell the guys, and when people start talking to us about the zombie genre,
Mhm.
that the only difference with us and Walking Dead was the economic resources.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they had Image, and we had our own wallets, whatever we had in our wallets. So
But that just shows how much passion you guys have for this project. You know,
yeah.
you really fought for this, and it's gonna pay off for sure. I don't doubt it. So where did the idea come from? Where was this born?
The idea of Infestation was it came from two things. One, my love for Resident Evil. The game that I played was Outbreak. It's about like just a group of people, like common people, trying to escape Raccoon City, right? So that was like the basic idea. No, what if Juarez is invaded by zombies, and well, we're just common people, and how do they like try to escape, try to survive, fight off, whatever.
Absolutely.
And there's a special element in our Infestation series that the ticks are supposedly the carriers of the virus, no?
Mhm.
And that idea came from a dog I had that was infested with ticks.
Oh,
So yeah, so that's like put one and one together, and
right.
I think we have a winning combination there.
Right, but you guys are somewhat of you guys are somewhat prophetic, no? Or so we will dive into it later. But yeah, I love the idea. I definitely like the art style. You guys did everything, right? The writing, the art, right? Or the ink.
Yeah, the writing is from Pancho. He's right here. The art is by Javier Gutierrez, who's in the chat right now. I mean, in the panel right now.
Yeah, for this book, the art is by me. Those images.
And I'm just the slave driver. I just cracked the whip.
All right.
The art director, John. You know how they
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm the art director myself too. I don't do
And I also lettered the book and colored the cover. So.
All right. So they gave you something to do just so you don't feel bad, right?
Get to work, peasants.
Oh yeah. Well, I want to compliment the art first of all because your style is very defined. It's very Mexican in a way, no?
Yes.
Well,
I
Javi, you
I'm
can.
gonna say thanks for that first, but also the art is mine. But I just gotta tell how much and how well we like get in tone with each other because they call me for my drawings for a reason. For the public, this was intended for. But there was a really high dosage of how you say lluvia de ideas in English. Like,
Oh, there's like a lot of ideas.
Brainstorming. Yeah.
Brainstorming.
yes, a lot of brainstorming was put into this. So I can take credit for the art by itself. It was a really great teamwork in that regard.
Right, and how did you guys like? Have you guys been friends for a long time? How did you guys come together? Are you longtime friends, high school friends, lovers? What are you guys?
Well, part of 656 Comics is it's family. So we're
Okay.
the main part is three brothers, right?
Yeah, three brothers.
And then we have friends that we known since when? Since Infestation started, no?
Yeah,
Since 2006, 2000, like what, 20 years?
like 20 years.
20 years more or less. And Javier, we met in 2012, Javi?
Yeah, kind of in that process
Seven?
of expanding our borders.
Right.
I was a rookie and came to found guys from my same area in another city. It was pretty weird, but it felt right once they saw my work and they like started telling me about maybe working in the future. So I guess Pancho should tell about how the group, the collective has years been organized, and some artists have been getting out, and it's not like something that came out with this book, but it's like a series that we are trying to reinvent for new readers.
Absolutely no. So this is kind of a family business, right? And was this like you guys are pretty established already in Mexico, so you just kind of trying to cross over to the American market. Was this your first book?
And in what sense? Our first book in English or?
No, your first book ever.
I don't know. Our first book ever was in 2001.
Oh wow.
We had a small, like 500 print run of a comic that.
It was an 800 print run of 22 page.
Yeah, 22 page comic that we didn't know how we made it, but we did it.
Yeah, it was named Temporada de Incendios, which
Fire season.
Fire season, yeah. So it was very cliche. We were young. We had to experiment. You know, the reason is I tell the guys that because they were like not afraid but very hesitant to do it. You know, because I remember it was a week's. Well, I saved like a month for the print run. And they were saying, oh, we're not ready, we need to like polish our drawings and our letters and the narrative of the story. And I said, oh no, you guys, come on, just do it, and we'll start like working, and along the way we'll start like evolution, evolving and making it all this right. And the readers like really appreciate that because they see the how do you evolve as a writer, as an artist. So yeah, it was Temporada Incendio was our first attempt in the comic business. And yeah.
And I see like just by looking at some of the art, you look at this what I presume to be a hippie getting shot in the face here. That there is a lot of political commentary behind most of you guys' books, right? What kind of political message is behind the On That Border?
Well, it's not political because it's more like social commentary.
Right.
Zombie movies, you always have to have social commentary. No, you have to talk. You have to. You don't have to put it in the audience face. No, like hey, in your face, but you have to like be subtle. I have an opinion about this, but I want to see if you can grasp or.
Yeah, no, it's art, and through art, people usually, try to give a message.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you know, and just put a little bit of context in our city, because we're from Juarez, border town with El Paso, Texas, and I don't know if you remember back in the day, well, back in like 2010, we were the most dangerous city in the whole world, no? And that was our context, and we were watching the news, and people weren't saying what was truly happening on the streets.
Mhm.
And for example, in '93, with all the feminicides and with the disappearance of the girls.
Yeah, I want to make a parenthesis there just to so that the audience understands. So in most of Latin America, there is a crime as a separate crime for basically murdering a woman, right? It carries a different penalty, but it's just a different historical context. It's called feminicide, which is like homicide, but only of females, right?
Yeah, with hate, with reasons of hate, something like that. It's
Right,
just,
it's just another way of it's just another type of hate crime, if you will, when it's specifically done against a person because of her gender. But when it's done against a woman, let's be honest. Me personally, I think homicide should just be homicide because everybody's life is just as valuable. But when you talk about Ciudad Juarez, when you talk about the border with El Paso, shit got crazy over there, right?
Shit got crazy.
Fair to say that modern Juarez is like New York in the 70s when crime was super high. Like a more dystopic.
Yeah. That's pretty messed up.
Yeah, but just to retake the point of John, they were crimes committed as homicides of women, but they were like awful crimes, John. They were like they were sadistic. They were
systematic.
They found girls with missing parts. There's a lot of theories about serial killers, snuff tapes, organ
harvesting.
Yeah, organ
trafficking.
Oof.
A lot of shit going on. I mean, and that's why the term femicide comes to life, no? Because it was horrible. It was horrible. It was like a horror laboratory. Because and I know, because I know, like we've been, because of the comics, we've been to like some congresses and with doctors and stuff like that and intellectuals about this subject matter, and the shit that goes on and the pictures I've seen, and it's
yeah. It's very gruesome. It comes to mind like that one time where women were just disappearing into thin air, right? And I think that's the interesting thing, right, about times of war, because there's a war in Mexico, and it's a cartel war, but it's still a war, right?
Yes.
And so the police and the authorities have their hands so full, right, trying to deal with this situation that a lot of people can get away with a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because the police is not going to pay attention as much to, say, a missing person case or something like that.
I tell you a quick story about that exactly point. Back in when we're working on Infestation, the first book, our house got broken into, and they stole TVs, VCRs,
my video games.
Oh no!
And they took a shit.
Yes.
And they took a shit on the living room.
Oh, great!
And then
the cherry on top.
Yeah. And we call the police. And then they were doing the report, and the police officer, true story, told us, the next time that happens, we're not gonna find your stuff. We're not gonna find, if we find the dude, probably the next day will come out, or even if we're gonna find it, because like you say, John, they have lots of stuff to investigate and to do, and and the next time that happens, make sure that
if you see him inside,
kill him.
Yep.
Kill him.
Oh my! Okay.
And then kill him, and then you wrap it around in a blanket, and then you throw it away, and then it's gonna seem that
A narco execution.
Oh, God.
And I was like, oh shit, this is
Wow.
the police officer, the law is telling me to do that.
Yep.
So yeah, that's Juarez in a nutshell.
Yeah, wow.
Right on.
It got pretty crazy. It got pretty crazy. Like you said, it was the murder capital of the world at some point. I don't know if I don't know if it still is, but
It probably is.
yeah, but yeah, people hanging from bridges, stuff like that. And I can only imagine what it would be like to work in the morgue in a place like that, where you get hundreds of people a day. So was life at the most dangerous city in the world, the murder capital of the world, a big inspiration in all of you guys' work throughout the career and the lifespan of 656?
Of course, certainly.
Yes.
Yeah, and in Undead Border, you can see it. Yeah, we have a cartel, no? Inside the city that rules.
Mm-hmm.
And it's based on the cartel in Juarez. I mean, they took over the food, they take over resources,
Mm-hmm.
the government. They're the new government, so to say.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty chaotic.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of like what we see in this comic. So you guys that have been definitely put a lot of your life experiences into it. I wanted to take a second just to say hello to a very active chat today. Hello to Abel who just joined us and he was telling us something about satanic rituals. We're going to talk. Oh yeah, that goes on in Juarez a lot, right?
Yeah, satanic rituals.
Yeah.
Well, it was there was a time that they found some, you know what, John? They were trying to like find these leads, and they were like several groups doing some crazy stuff. But yeah, there were some satanicos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hail to Aguapu who's always joining us, my friend. Thank you very much for joining us. Hail to Red Gaze. Hail to Johnny Cage, who I believe he said something about feminicide being also a thing in Brazil. Yeah, I've heard it in a lot of places, and it's always funny when you hear like the feminists, from like the Western countries, complain about, I don't know, people spreading their legs on the subway or something like that.
I know.
And you go to countries where women are actually going through shit that is awful, and
Yep.
feminism doesn't even exist.
Well, there's countries where it's totally legal for you to beat your wife because she's not in her place.
Right.
By the way, Johnny Cage, I love your games.
Finish him.
Yeah. Oh, that Johnny Cage finish is really painful. And that would be like the feminist finish for someone who's manspreading, like Red Gay says here. Hail to Mr. Jono Fui, hail to C, my brother. Thank you for joining us today. And to Michael Beacon as well, who says there were no drugs in the finished sculpture, unfortunately. All right. So yeah. Also, I wanted to talk about Mogwai. If you can share your screen with that one thing we talked about, because you guys became quite the celebrities in your town at some point. Because
it was scary time.
It was scary time. It was scary time, but it's also a very interesting story. I wanted you guys to tell my audience here. So you were showcased in a Vice article, right?
Yes.
And because you wrote a comic called Carmesí, which in Spanish, I guess it will translate to something like
Crimson.
What's that? Crimson. There you go.
Yep.
That's the color I'm looking for. So there's a Crimson. It's a crime fighter, vigilante. It's a superhero concept here in this comic who fights, the cartels. But at the time, there wasn't so much violence brewing in the place. So you guys were kind of like seen as these prophets who basically saw it coming, saw the storm coming. Because like there was a before and an after in Ciudad Juarez where you guys live. Before all the mayhem and all the craziness started happening, and you guys wrote about what could happen in your city because you saw like the violence of the cartels. Tell us about this.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, we were working on a story. Carmesí is a vigilante. He in the story he used to work with the federal government.
Yeah.
He was un federal. He was a policeman.
The federal police.
Yeah. And a epiphany, and he was tired of doing all this shit in the city.
Mhm.
So he tried to clean up his act and go after uh, cleaning up everything he helped mess the city, right?
Mhm.
So we were talking, the guys and I, with Marcos, with Oliver. Marcos is another writer of the collective, and then Oliver,
Mhm.
and then we were trying to exaggerate the whole like a war, like a drug cartel war, and then we decided like to have the martial law the city, have thousands of army looking for the cartel
And for Carmesí.
and for Carmesí, and then closing the borders and all this murder mayhem, and like 2 years later that
happened.
it happened. I mean, it was crazy,
But no vigilante.
but no vigilante, exactly. So by 2008 we had like 10,000 military men,
Mhm.
10,000 military men, and 2,000 federales. It's like the highest form of policing, no?
It's like the FBI. Mhm.
Yeah, something like that. And it was crazy because for me, when I got off the job, when I got off the office to go to my house, I had to pass like federal checkpoint,
Mhm.
municipal police checkpoint, an
Mhm.
army checkpoint, and drug cartel checkpoint. So
Oh my god.
it was fucking crazy. It was, and then every 15 minutes you hear like gunshots, sirens, and when the interview came out with the Vice, Vice did that article, and then a local
TV station.
TV station did another one, and it was like all
Right.
the it
So
was
that's what I wanted to talk about, right? So you guys became famous overnight because you got this exposure from all these different media sites, websites, newspaper, and TV. Then the cartel started coming after you for that.
yeah I
Yeah.
yeah
Jesus.
yeah it was like I told you on CG Latino. It was a couple of calls, and it wasn't like too much communication going because
Mhm.
you don't want to talk to those guys anyways, right?
Mhm.
And it was just like, hey, just
Slow your roll.
slow your roll, calmate, stop your shit,
Uh,
and
tread lightly, like in Breaking Bad.
yeah, it was, oh, yes, sir, right away, sir.
Stop drawing. Pencils
Right.
down.
Pencils down,
So,
right?
yeah, so I mean, I have a family, and I love breathing,
Right, right. You like your head where it is.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
you don't want them separated from your
So
body.
it was, and we decided to stop it. We decided to,
But we got it lightly, no?
yeah, we got it lightly, yeah.
Because
Right, right.
he was being followed, and they
No.
tried to carjack him, and it was
Right, so it wasn't just random crime. They were going after you. They were making threatening phone calls to you, telling you to basically stop making comics. Look, this is how crazy it is, all right? Like people from Marvel complain that they're telling them pencils down because people don't buy their stupid shit. You guys were being told by professional assassins to stop making comics.
This is the real cancel culture.
This is
Yeah.
I mean, by cancel, death.
right. That is so crazy, man. This is quite a story here. I have Johnny Cage saying, if you try to make a comic about the organized crime down here in Brazil where he lives, the bosses will put your inside car tires with gasoline and set you on fire.
Exactly.
Exactly, Johnny.
Yeah, I've heard
Exactly.
the gang violence in Brazil is pretty intense too.
Yeah,
Right?
it's pretty. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there was another incident. We got hired by a local newspaper,
Oh, yes.
and it's like the Inquirer. What is it?
It's like a tabloid.
Yeah. So like the Inquirer. Yeah.
Sensationalist.
Yeah.
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 And we were, and the mission was to do this comic book like ultra violent, ultra sexy, and naming names.
Ooh, yeah. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, and we came out with this with this story arc also.
All right.
It's like the antithesis of the Charlie Angels. The newspaper was called La Clave 77, which means like murder, no?
Yeah, it's a police
It's
code.
a police code
It's a keyword, yeah.
Right, yeah.
for crime, yeah. And so we came up with this idea of las chicas clave, no, like the Charlie Angels sort of stuff, and they're going to bad guys with pedophiles and stuff like that, and
Awesome.
it was a boom. It was a boom, and then like 2 months later, the editor calls us, and then, hey, I want to run the story, and I need for you guys to name. I want to see more tits and see more ass and see more blood, and I want to see the names.
I want to see this guy.
I want to see this guy,
And-
who owns this business, and I know he does those parties where the girls go missing. And I said, what?
Damn.
So
He
okay,
just wanted to set you up. He was setting you guys up.
and I told them, so are you gonna like protect us? I mean, how is gonna work? Because our names are over there. I mean, and I told you we didn't want the names, and so they were like acting very irresponsible, like so.
Absolutely.
So we quit it we quit that day.
But we're planning on probably releasing that for CG.
That would be great. That would be great.
Yeah, the whole newspaper run, we probably can do it for like a special price.
I don't know if CG have people like done projects like that, like real hardcore.
But look, it doesn't matter what people do. You do your own thing. You guys have something special, right? Because you have something that not a lot of people understand. You got the life experiences. You know what I mean? That you can put into these comics, and it doesn't matter. It can just be your style. The good thing about Indiegogo is that it's not as censorious as other platforms. You know what I mean?
Right.
You go crazy, man. You do you. You know what I mean? And I will be buying because I am very interested in this. So
and don't get us wrong. We're laughing right now, but on those days, I mean,
we were scared.
We were scared. I mean,
yeah. All right, who was the most scared one?
Pancho.
Yeah. We do all the talking. I do all the negotiation and stuff like that.
Who was getting the threatening phone calls from the cartels?
You.
It was me and Javi, the doctor.
Oh, the actual real question I got to ask is this: how many pairs of pants did you have to buy after that?
Not a lot, but lots of boxers.
That is great, man. Man, crazy story. If you missed this story, check out on the replay because this was quite something. For everybody who's just tuning in, Hell to Canales who just joined us, and everyone else, I'm talking to this company, this family company, 656 Comics from Mexico, from the border town of Juarez, the capital murder of the world, where they had to experience a lot of shit and they just wrote comics, not necessarily about it, but inspiring all the things that were happening to them. Right now, they're new to CG and they're doing their first ever campaign called On Dead Border, and they're gonna be launching it soon. So the campaign, you guys have a mailing list. We're gonna be dropping links for it. So if you're interested, please show these guys some love. Subscribe to the mailing list. This comic will be launching soon. It's completely finished, and it has a pretty cool video I wanted to watch right now. So.
Yes, I was gonna ask to. We can put the trailer on.
Yeah. I'm not sharing with audio, so I don't know how to do that. So I need you to open it in your end.
Got you. I will have it. Oh, I actually closed it. Yeah, man. So that was a crazy story. Did anything else happen with you guys while you were, basically exposing this stuff?
Well, we saw a lot of things, but I mean the hardcores were the calls, were the telephone calls.
Oh yeah, and another thing, John. during that time we won grants to publish books, no, to work on books. And the paper called us, hey, you want to run a story and all that, and we were afraid to. Hey, no, dude, don't. I just want money. Don't announce it because I don't want people come to my house robbing me or anything.
Yeah,
so
we were very our Facebook we didn't like post pictures. And, no, it was kind of all the on the download because Oliver even won a grant to go and speak in Harvard. So yeah, we were.
Yeah, we don't want to make a big fuss because
in 2010 we were like very. We won a lot of stuff. Yeah. We'll tell you about it later.
All right.
The video.
All righty, let's watch this sick trailer because you guys have you guys have the sickest trailer in Comicsgate, period. And my trailer is great, but everybody watch this, please. It's amazing.
In 2006, 656 Comics unleashed Infestacion. It became the only Latino zombie comic of its time. Now, 656 Comics brings us the most intensely shocking graphic novel experience of all time. Undead Border. Escape or die. The border is overrun by the living dead, and the only option is to escape or die. 656 Comics brings back the dead.
I can't get tired of watching that, man.
Yeah. Hey, now I finally understand the reference with the tick. No, that's where you guys got the idea from, is because your dog was infested with these bugs, right?
Yeah, and in Juarez during the summer, it's infested with ticks.
Oh.
There's even a lot of campaigns, no, like if you get bitten, call this number and please clean your yard and have a clean house and all that. And
everything happens here, John. Guys, everything happens here in Juarez. Everything. Right. For example, last month, when the pandemic started, we had an earthquake. I mean,
Juarez doesn't have an earthquake.
Doesn't have earthquakes, and last Monday we had a tornado watch. So, just it's a cool time here in Juarez.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Hey guys, I don't feel that well now. I don't know. I just got bit by a tick yesterday. I don't know. I don't feel that well.
Save the last bullet for yourself.
Yeah. Does this look infected? Is that the next dialogue?
Michael Beacon says that it was during a trip to Juarez that his family got, his family's dog got a tick. Yeah, man.
I'm sorry about that.
I don't know. It's a lot of shit. Like the other day, I went to Mexico too. Like, but that was years ago, right? And that was the first time I got stung by a stingray. You know how much that shit hurts? And the worst part is, I got stung in my ankle, right?
Did somebody piss on you?
No. I mean,
it kind of livens the sting.
Yeah, I've heard, but I wasn't about to do that shit. But my whole leg felt like it was on fire for 7 hours straight.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, great looking comic, guys. Congratulations. I really hope you launch it soon. I know you guys are waiting for a few more signatures, for a few more subscriptions to your mailing list. So
I think we're gonna launch once we get like 200 more or less.
Okay.
So yeah, because we can't wait for 1,000. I mean,
yeah,
if it's popular enough and it reaches more, well, of course we'll launch it soon. But
absolutely. I look forward to it. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. All right, I wanted to also showcase another project here, another beautiful project that I just seen for the first time today, called Red Ice, and that is by my friend David here. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. It's a bit early in the morning here in Switzerland, but I'm fine.
Oh, you're from Europe. Wow, wow. Thank you for tuning in.
Sure, thank you.
Beautiful Switzerland, beautiful country. I have my aunt lives there, and the people there are just so nice. One time, my mom visited them without, by the way, knowing her husband, my aunt's husband, right? So I guess that he's her brother-in-law. And I remember that the first thing he did was everybody was sitting around the table, and he just pulled out some money and started giving people money. That was like his welcoming gift, I guess. So you guys are famous for being very nice.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I'm only half Swiss. I'm like half Mexican, half Swiss. So it's
all right. That's
I'm half nice, I guess. Then.
Alrighty. So yeah, talk to us about Red Eyes.
So Red Eyes is it's a project idea that I've been working on for years now, and now it's coming to fruition, I guess you say. It's about I guess the best way to describe it is like with a pitch. No, it's like Conan the Barbarian, but with guns. So this is a world where you have guns, you have the mystical forces, you have magical creatures, and odd, almost like dreamlike locations. And it's about a group of 9 heroes who are on a desperate mission to save their land. Is those guys that you see over there? Their land was conquered by those guys that you see now. They're called hunters, and so they are trying to, gain independence from these guys. Also, the heroes are called insurgents or rebels, and the bad guys are the hunters, who are like hunting down what few pockets of insurrection there are in this country. You see, they are kind of overpowered. One of them is a shapeshifter, and she transforms into this giant skull-faced snake thing.
Oh, damn.
So it's not looking great for the heroes.
That's the whole hero's journey. Yeah, that's the whole hero's journey. They gotta face the foe that's stronger than them, right?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So those are like the 9 heroes. The protagonist is the one in the middle. And so more or less the first episodes is about his hero's journey, about how he becomes a halfway decent human being from being initially more or less like an incompetent and a coward. And the whole spiel is that he was the son of one of the higher ups of the insurrection, but he's pretty bad, and so he screwed up beyond belief, and he's sentenced to death. And his father is like, no, whoa, before you put him, before you kill him or hang him, let's do something about it. And he's drafted into this very special mission, like a mission of penance. In the sense that if he succeeds, that's awesome, and if he dies, then okay, you die for the glory of the insurrection. And now here's like the first few pages where they start on the mission, and as you can see, things are very desperate. Also, they ride cocks, by the way.
they
there are
do.
no horses in this world, so they all ride cocks.
That didn't sound right, dude.
It did. We get it because we're showing a picture of it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, guys.
Okay. And so these 2 poor guys, they are left behind as kind of a decoy. That's how the story starts, where we see these 2 guys. They are basically driving all the hunters towards them, so the main group of heroes can, get safely to town. So things are very, very desperate, because they're willing to leave 2 guys behind so the others can survive, no? And then, so episode 1 is going to be 47 pages, 37 pages of story, and some extras. And what else? We'll it's a dark fantasy saga in the making, hopefully. But it will have like a beginning, middle, and end. It's going to be a compact story. I'm not looking for something that goes over thousands and thousands of episodes. So it's going to be, I don't know, short and sweet, but
absolutely. No, yeah, it definitely looks great, man. The art looks fantastic, and now that I hear the concept, it sounds really good too. So congratulations on launching, and I know that you're really close to your goal. So we have Johnny Cashes who knows. I know some girl who write those things as well. And thank you to Mogwai for dropping the link. So go ahead and do check this campaign out. It looks fantastic. And you're actually doing something that I haven't seen done before, and that's the whole point of Comics Gay Latino, is you are translating your books into different languages. How many languages do you speak?
Also, 3 languages, decently enough, let's say. It's English, German, and Spanish.
Okay.
And yeah, so the idea was if I already speak all those languages, and since I've already done translation work, and so, might as well do my own book.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the updates section, you'll see that all the links for digital, Spanish, and German are there.
Oh.
So in order to keep the start site more clean and not have like a sea of perks, I decided to put them secret or hidden. And so in the updates are all the links to the digital or digital German, digital Spanish, and physical Spanish, physical German.
Absolutely. That being said, though, I assume that this book ships everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta come to CG Latino. It gets freaking crazy out there. You get freaking crazy sometimes.
Yeah. No, I got the link to the CG group in the Twitter.
All right, yeah. Come to it, because we also pitch to the Spanish language speaking audience as well, and so yeah. No, man, you got a great looking campaign, and you got some pretty cool perks too. What's the $21 one?
The 21 is the physical copy. It's issue 1, and the Ashcan of issue 2.
Mm-hmm.
And you
what
get
is
it in German and English and Spanish. And the other one, the featured perk, is like all those 2 books plus a very special book. It's a lexicon, a bestiary of the story of the world of Red Eyes, but it's just like a little bit spicier with sexy monster girls pinups.
Yeah, I know. I saw a lot of furries in here. Is it for furries too?
Ooh. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
It's for all audiences.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, no, you got some pretty cool perks, and then you have but this one's sold out.
Yeah, we had a drowning perk, but that one someone already snatched it. So.
All right. Do you plan on having any future perks? Maybe any stretch goals?
Yes, I have a couple of stretch goals to include the first stretch goal would be to upgrade the Ashcan into a more decent floppy, and then to include some prints.
Yeah.
For all the physical perks.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's it, more or less. At the moment, we're keeping it very, very simple. Since this is the first campaign, this is the first time we're doing something like this. I thought of keeping it simple, short, simple, stupid.
Right.
If you like.
Absolutely, and you do have a flexible goal of just $2,000. So as of right now, where you are you shipping to all your backers, or do you want to get more money before you do that?
So I'd love to get more money, obviously.
No, yeah, I know, but like because it's a flexible goal, I ask. So, are you going to wait a little bit, or if like the campaign ends right now, would you still fulfill it, or?
So the idea is to fulfill by the end of October, November, and that's like come hell or high water. So whatever it ends up, if it's 30 backers or if it's like 100 or whatever, we plan to fulfill at that time. And we're making the budget in such a way that even if we receive nothing from Indiegogo, we still can fulfill and not leave people hanging or something like that.
Absolutely. And I also see that you have a trailer video. Let's watch it.
"20 years ago, savage hunters from the north invaded our land. A crowd of wolves followed in their wake, and everything fell to darkness. Farin Fair was son of Kion Fair, leader of our insurrection, a spoiled, rich brat whose failures far exceeded his ambitions. Father always covered his son's successes until he could no more. Farin was sentenced to death for his sins and cowardice, but his father could not just let him die, so he was drafted into a mission of penance. Yet he was not alone. Commander Grierjan, legendary hero of the insurrection, would see the mission succeed. Some would call it a suicide mission. For Commander Grierjan, it was just another day. Red Eyes is 37 pages of pure, unbridled dark fantasy. With all perks, you'll get the Ashcan of Episode 2. Join the insurrection this April 2020. Only on Indiegogo. #ComicsGate.
Oh, that's great, man. That's great. That was
Hail.
very cool. Hail, Thomas.
Hail,
Yeah,
hail.
guys, hopefully you get more backers, man, because man, this campaign looks awesome. I gotta congratulate you, and you got 32 days left. We gotta be pushing it, all right?
Yeah, no, I'm hopeful that it will be, funded. My goodness, I'm losing my English now.
Absolutely. We have
Yeah, so
John
one of the big inspirations for this idea is the movie Dirty Dozen. It's a pretty old
okay.
movie,
Yeah,
and it's about this very desperate, crazy, almost suicide mission, and these 12 guys who have to go there and do it, and each one of them has. Also, the idea in the book, the idea that I found so cool is like they send these 12 guys because they're basically sentenced to death, and so say, okay, you can either be hanged or go on this very crazy mission where you're gonna likely die anyway. But if you survive, then all the good for the cause, and maybe we pardon you, no? And it's one of the biggest inspirations for this. Like at least one of them, the protagonist, he has this issue going for him that he's sentenced to death, and he's like, okay, either you go here and die for the glory of the insurrection, or maybe you survive and then you come clean and we're good now.
absolutely.
Yeah, Dirty Dozen meets Dungeons and Dragons. That sounds awesome.
D&D.
All right. Yeah, man. No, congratulations on your book. It's so you got a backer now. Thank you, Jezebel. Definitely, you won't regret it because that book is very cool.
Oh, thank you.
That book looks that book looks very good. And yeah, everybody else, man, this book deserves more eyes. No pun intended on it, because it is. I mean, look at the art; it's just beautiful and very inspired writing, from what I hear from you, sir. What is in the future? Are you planning on making Red Eyes 2 after this, or are you working on another project?
Also, we're offering the Ashcan of number 2 with all the physical perks. And also the idea is, yes, like by the end of October, beginning of November, when we fulfill ship and everyone has their books, start right away with episode number 2.
Absolutely. Well, yeah,
we're already working on it, so it's already getting drawn and penciled and inked and everything.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yep. And it's fully colored, right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, because you have here also, this is part of the Ashcan, then everything in black and white here.
No, that's issue 1. That's kind of like the progress of the pages and the colors and the letterings. So all the art is done and the colors are coming in, and I'm updating the front page as the better pages come in. Let's say.
Very cool. And is this a peanut, or as we will say here in this channel, a peanut?
That's that's a spread page.
Okay. Oh, man, it looks good, man. It looks good. Oh, how'd you come up with this over thing?
Sorry?
How'd you come up with this thing over here? That's a shapeshifter, right?
That's a shape. Also, one of the ideas of the books that I hope to make it unique is that there are no, your typical fantasy races. Also, there are no orcs, trolls, or what have you. It's all races that I created.
That's awesome.
Kind of original, if you like. And so this is a shapeshifter, but shapeshifters, they cannot just turn their arm into a sword and stuff like that. They can only turn into stuff that is biological. And so she turns into this giant snake, but still like the skin is all like the skin of a human, only stretched. And in order to be intimidating, she makes this, skull face,
Wonderful, man. I'm so hyped for this, dude. You got a great looking project. And sexy chicks with right cocks, you got me. Right up my
Yeah.
alley.
Orc lives matter. Hell yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, yeah. Man.
So yeah, my intent was not to keep orcs out. It's just that I was, like trying to be original. But then this whole thing with the orcs, like that's so ridiculous.
Oh, that got out of hand real quick.
So stupid.
Oh man. Yeah, that is quite the thing, no? Some people prefer black and white. So I don't know. What do you prefer, Mogwai? Are you team black and white exclusively? Are you a swinger of both? Are you team color only? What are you?
I put the gur in swinger, baby.
Alrighty.
It depends. It depends on the genre. So more if you're doing a manga style type book, I like it in black and white. So like Kyung Lee's Battle Made in Knuckle Bomb, that just made a lot of sense seeing it in black and white. But like for example, like a book like Vestige, if that was in black and white, it wouldn't make a lot of sense because you're gonna miss out some of the story elements,
Right.
kind of stuff like that. But yeah, it just really depends. But
I gotta say though, yeah.
no, black and white books, if they're done right, they will look amazing.
Absolutely. But I gotta say though, this book looks better with color. I think you had the right idea when you colored it. Yay, we got you some backers.
Oh hell yes! Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. No, thank you to my audience. They are wonderful people, man. And welcome to Comicsgate, dude. This is so much fun here. Most of the time.
Even the drama. No, it's fine. It's fine. I love the drama too. So
absolutely, yeah. And speaking of dramas, is 656 still with us?
Yes.
Tell us another crazy story.
Tell us another crazy story. Let me see what chapter.
I don't know, dude.
On Dead Border, guys. On Dead Border. How many? You guys will be launching when you reach 200, huh?
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, if we get more, it'll be great. But 2,000 is 200 is the limits. And
right.
Yeah. And this book is already done, dude. I mean, it's all the artwork is complete. We just need to translate the script and reletter it, and I think we're gonna add more pages, right?
Yeah, we're gonna add more pages,
an introduction, and.
But I think it's done. It's like 90% done already.
Do you guys think it would be hard to add more stuff to something that you guys haven't worked on for so many years, though? Or do you have some pretty, because I find it hard. Like, I mean, I wrote the Grim Reaper a year ago, and now my wife tells me, "Oh, come check this part out." I'm like, "What's happening in that part? I don't remember what the hell I did." You know what I mean?
Yeah, that happens to me because when Oliver said, "Hey, come and revisit this and see what we can change this." Who wrote this?
Right. Oh yeah, that happens all the time to me. Yeah. But that's part of growing, right? That's part of, hey, look, we all evolving as authors, artists. Everything gets better with time, And it's
but I think we're gonna add some stuff that makes sense for the new readers in English, to explain the undead border and stuff like that, to make it cohesive. But and for the artwork, because originally in the Spanish version, the intro Oliver does like 20 pages, like a flashback, so it works because it's different artwork. And then Javi goes on and
with the main story.
So for Undead Border, Javi is gonna do the intro as well. So that's basically what are we going to do?
Yeah, my idea is Javi has to do all the artwork in this campaign. Sorry, Javier.
Ouch.
Yeah, but he's very talented. His style is very unique, different, dynamic, and it lends itself to tell this crazy story. So
I
yeah,
really like the art, like the first image where they're fighting the ticks.
yeah.
I really like that image. The guy, what is he shooting a tick in the air, or what is he doing there?
Oh, he's blasting a zombie covered with ticks. Is that I think so, no? And Javi, isn't that your friend or something that you drew in there?
No, we did a little like activity and where we asked some of our loyal readers down in
Um,
Juarez to participate in some like initiatives we had. And in the end, I think we end up adding to the pages like five dudes. It
Yeah,
was 5 or 10 dudes, different kind of things, and we end up having them as how you call them, how you call it, cameos.
yeah. That's
cameos, yeah, cameos, yeah.
zombie cameos. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's something we're planning to have in this campaign too. So
The
Something
drawings, yeah.
really fun. Something really fun about drawing a zombie book is that you have to do a lot of different characters, and you have, as an artist, you have to. It's part of your work. Make all the crowds look different.
Right,
So I don't want to say if you are a good artist, you do a lot of characters in the background, but I guess if you commit to details, you really try to make a lot of like making the crowds look lively,
right,
and that's something that I really work on in this book because this book has a lot of backgrounds and has a lot of zombie crowds, and that's
right.
something that I saw in some mainstream zombie books that
Good.
when it wasn't like the main stories or something that was more on the off of how you call it, like a side story kind of
Yeah,
book.
yeah, we did that too. What you call it? I
You
forgot.
could see
A spin-off.
when an artist wasn't like giving his best or like
Right.
he was really hurrying up the pages.
Mhm.
That's something I don't like to see reflected in my work. I really
Oh,
try that
absolutely.
if somebody that likes to read comics buys a book from us, I really
Hmm.
like to feel like all the pages are really worked with love and they can dedicated time. So hard to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and yeah, all the zombies do look very unique. This one right here looks like Cecil, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
There,
So,
after last night, that's a really good
there
depiction.
was a really cool sequence.
right.
I can't say too much about plot wise, but there was a really cool sequence where we take something like a dance bar that exists in Juarez.
uh-huh.
And we needed like some DJs and some singers. And
Mhm.
Pancho asked me to do some of their friends, some acquaintances of his that are actually rappers down in
Oh,
Juarez.
right.
It was a really urban kind of sequence. So I took reference from them, and it end up really nice looking with all the reference.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, guys, do subscribe to the mailing list for. I always want to say Infestación, but it's on Dead Border. You guys change the name because Adam Post just wouldn't stop telling you to change the name. I blame him for it. But I do like Infestación though.
But
It's just
he made a lot of sense. It made a lot of sense. First,
yeah.
we were like, why? What?
It's
But
my baby.
it's my baby, but it makes sense. It makes sense, and it's for the best, though. It was a good advice.
But John, we broke into argument. We fought. We
We
cried,
tried,
and
and we said,
fuck
"Fuck
it.
it."
Change it.
I guess
that sounds about right.
I guess infestation is related to the nature of the virus, but on that border is related to
To
the
the
nature of the book of the cultural context. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's a good name too.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, I have a question here for David. Johnny Cage says that he tried learning German one time and always felt like the other person was yelling at me, regardless of what they were saying. Is that so?
That's so true. Like you can say stuff like "I love you" or like, and it sounds so harsh and
Yeah, I can hear somebody's porn in the background, so you guys can.
No, I was something started up on my phone. It was a game.
Yeah, something, right?
Hi, Carla.
They saying hi.
Hello.
All right. Yeah, guys, I did drop the links in the comments for everybody. Do subscribe to this wonderful campaign for the mailing list. They're gonna be launching as soon as they hit 200. And do go and back Red Eyes episode 1 if you haven't done so already. My friend David, would you please be so kind as to tell everybody in German to subscribe to White Comics?
Also, ich kann es versuchen, Mann. Hey Leute, bitte, jetzt weiß ich nicht, wie man das subscriben auf Deutsch sagt, aber auf jeden Fall, subscribed to White Cat Comics. Vielen Dank.
Yeah.
Damn.
I did feel like he had some weight. And also, guys, if you haven't done so already, do back our campaign, The Green Reaper 2. We're very close to finish. So we're going to be sending to printers soon, and then it'll be in your hands before you know it.
Yeah.
So
where's my bone book?
Your what?
Where's my bone book?
Oh, yeah. You will get it fresh off the printer. It will be warm and delicious, man. You'll see. Yeah. Thank you for all our backers. Thank you for everybody who watched the show. If you just got here, please watch the replay because we have so many crazy stories and so much. So we talked so much stuff. So you won't definitely regret it. Yes, he is sometimes. Johnny Cage, don't open adult videos during stream or what?
No, it wasn't an adult video.
You know why I know?
It's a trailer.
You know why I know he's right? Because he wouldn't have a problem with just admitting he was watching an adult video during the live stream.
But it was his video.
Wow, fully scripted in Japanese, man. Wow. Right on.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, everybody who watched tonight. I do wish you guys the best. Hopefully, we can get these campaigns funded. Hopefully, you guys launch soon as well. We'll see you in CG Latino hopefully tomorrow night. And thank you to everyone who watched and who tuned in. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Nice meeting you all.